Welcome to Tiny Rails, the fun little game with a train, and the Mortis Island event and information. Here's my train going past, and it has changed a little bit since the last time I recorded an episode, and I will explain what's changed and why as we go. Let's get into the game. Okay, I am currently doing, because there is an event, the Spooky Mortis Island event. I am currently doing the event, and I learnt more about how events work and how stuff all fits together with these wonderful events. So I will explain that in a minute or two as my train leaves Raleigh, North Carolina. There are a few things which I am now aware of which I wasn't in the last episode. First, and most importantly being, there is a USA East port. And whilst I wish this port had been around whilst I was going through all the missions, because it's a very convenient port, I don't know if it's going to last beyond the end of October. But USA East port is quite useful because it allows me access to my depot, where I have stored a load of stuff for the Mortis Island event, and I will be heading to Mortis Island in a second. Equally, because I've completed the standard deliver cargo to all the stations and completed all the tasks for Mortis Island, I now have a new train, which is on my wonderful train, or new engine, which is on my train, which has a couple of Halloween type faces on it. Let me choose my destination of Mortis Island Port. And if I get there in time, let's head down to Erie, because that's where I want to go next. And as you can see, it was daylight in the USA East, so it's still daylight over here, just the sun is different with a wonderful Halloween face, which means the screen is darker. Okay, let me click on the events tab to explain stuff. Right, with events, you deliver certain cargoes to certain towns as a one-off. You get these wonderful Halloween tokens in this case, a certain number depending on the amount of cargo and the difficulty of collecting it. And then you can then spend it on getting these unique cars. I have got some of these unique cars, including the Skelly Food, the Skelly Fun, and the Skelly People. And let me go through Sleepy Hollow, pick up the skulls because I need them. Now, events work slightly differently from how I was expecting, in the fact that the event runs for a certain period of time. In this case, this part of the event ends in 2 days, 7 hours, 42 minutes, etc. And then you get a 3-day break before the next event sequence starts. So in that 3 days, what you can do is collect a load of materials you know you're going to need for the next event, put them in your depot, and have them ready for when the event starts up again, which is what I have done. If I click on this, things like balloons, I went slightly overboard doing this for some of them. Balloons, candy apples, candy corn, jack-o'-lanterns, I put hundreds in my depot. Spiders, witches' hats. So I'm well prepared, apart from one item, which is skulls, because you need a lot of skulls. So if you're going to do that, I would suggest concentrating on collecting as many skulls as possible in the non-event times, or the times where you don't need to collect skulls. And let me drop off the spiders that I have. I've just fulfilled the event demand for Erie, and yes, you can even pick up spiders in the places where they are due to be delivered, and you can deliver them immediately. I've probably got enough spiders, but what the heck. So the only thing I need to collect, and the place I need to go, is there. So, okay, we're going back the way we came. Is I need to collect 500 in total skulls for this part of the event. I've got 120 or so on my train, because I had 100 or so in my depot. So once I've managed to do all of this, I can then go around, collect more skulls and shove them in my depot. But I have, that one's skelly people, that one's skelly food, that one's skelly fun, this one is skelly cargo. I have enough tokens to now get this one, so I will. And when I get the 1,750 tokens for delivering the skulls, I will then be with the total of 2,000, which is enough to get me the caboose, but not the engine that comes with this event. Excuse me, I had a bit of a coughing fit there. Okay. The other thing I have done is I have a car on my train. I spent all my money on the gumball machine to try and get the few remaining cars I don't currently have. The only one I managed to pick up was the floral car, which is a very pretty car, but it cost me about 8 million to get that. I've now managed to get my cash up to about 7.5 million again, so I can have another go at the gumball machine if I so desire. However, that's painful, spending 8 million to get one unique car and a load of duplicates, even though you can sell the duplicates these days. But what I wanted to do was find this wonderful new car I got with Skelly Cargo. Is it around here somewhere? Yes, there it is. Oh yes, at the back of my train I've added a couple of cargo cars and the caboose that goes with this engine, because I needed the cargo capacity for running around Mortis Island. So let me shove that car there, then move it up front and put it there. That way all the new cars are visible on the screen, where I tend to keep the first 6 cars on screen. It makes collecting cash from these a bit more of a pest because I have to remember to do it, but it gives me a chance to put the new cars on screen. So now my cargo capacity is 192, which is nice. Now that's this event, and literally in 2 days, etc. time, I will have completed this. I will have a total of 2,000 tokens, which is not enough to get the caboose and the engine, which requires 4,500 in total. So I will need to do another one in the three days after this one ends. Is there anything here I want, like skulls? Yeah, I will do another one, let it get enough tokens and I'll be able to get the engine and the caboose. At that point, when you finish an event, any outstanding tokens you have remain there, so they will be there when you start the next part of the event. I thought when I first did this you would get one event immediately after another. No, you get a 3-day break, so you have to be aware of that. And like I say, it's a good chance to go round and shove a load of stuff in your depot in preparation for the next one. But well, oh, hang on, it appears I'm going to blow a rock out of the track. Gets me a couple more skulls, always nice, a few other bits and pieces. Actually, let me just reorganise my train slightly by moving you back there a bit, there, back there a bit. Right. That way I can leave the engine on screen and all the new cars. Okay, so that's this event, the wonderful Mortis Island. The other thing I have noticed, and this is the easiest way of showing it, these are all the trains. Strange enough, the Mortis Island train that's on Mortis Island engine that's on my current train does not appear in the trainery, which may be an oversight, would be nice if it did. But as you can see, this is the Skelly train engine, which I will get when I get enough tokens. There is also in the trainery the Gravy train engine and the Santa Snow Globe engine. So I'm guessing that there is going to be another event. I'm guessing the Gravy Train one is probably going to be in November, because it goes with the Thanksgiving type theme, and the Santa Snow Globe engine, surprisingly enough, is going to be a Christmas event, so I imagine that will be in December. So there are at least 2 more events coming. I don't know if Tiny Titan Studios are going to be doing an event a month for the foreseeable future or not. If they do, wonderful. If they don't, well, I don't really mind, because it was kind of a nice surprise to have this event and now 2 subsequent ones I wasn't aware of. So I have noticed that. So coming into good old Cape Fear. I'll empty my train out. I say empty my train. So now I need 262 more skulls to complete this event demand. And there are no skulls here, which will take me a little time to collect. And then I will be able to spend the remaining time collecting more skulls to put them in my depot, because skulls are the largest thing, or the largest amount of things you're going to need to collect, and it takes a while, because there are, 9 stations on Mortis Island? 8, 9 stations, I forget the exact amount. And you have a limited amount of resources, so hence you're only going to get a limited amount of skulls. So that's pretty much everything I actually wanted to do, or can do, for this event on Mortis Island currently. Time to clean the train. I have these wonderful cars to upgrade. The Skelly Cargo is going to take a while. The Skelly People's almost up to level 3, it's maximum level. Skelly Fun's still on level 1, and the Skelly Food is on level 2. But I've now got to do multiple circuits of Mortis Island looking for skulls. And as you can go around Mortis Island fast enough, you frequently... Oh, there's 14 skulls in the next place. There's 1 skull over there. Yeah, like I say, they're not necessarily... It's not necessarily fast to find the amount of skulls you need. There is, of course, always the wonderful service of lower market refresh by 50%. So you basically have a more chance of picking up cargo faster once you've picked up all the stuff that you currently want. But that was pretty much what I wanted to explain. Just let me check I've covered everything I wanted to. It's a USA East port, so you can easily get to a depot. You could go to another port and go to a different depot, but that one's close, so it's relatively cheap to get to. Mortis Island consists of 8 stations, and the event gap is 3 days between events, or event sections. That I found out from the Steam discussion board, where the developers do actually answer questions, or when people think there is a problem, they do actually answer, which I think is very good of them. So I'm expecting another event in November and one in December for the Gravy Train and the Santa Train. I may be wrong on that. That's just my best guess based on the logic of what's in the trainery and how I think the theme goes with the months. And that's pretty much everything. I will complete this wonderful event, not probably before halfway through the month at this rate. I will get the new train and caboose, or new engine and caboose, and I will be a happy little camper. Yep, I think that pretty much covers everything that I noticed, thought of, and wanted to cover. Oh, yes, you should be aware of this, but there was an information button for each car type here. As I said, I went nuts on the putting stuff in my depot. When I came to this part of the event, I needed 25 candy apples, 25 balloons, 25 candy corn. I think it was 25 bonbons as well. 50 jack-o'-lanterns, 100 witches' hats, 250 spiders. So it's literally spiders and probably skulls are the things you need most in your depot. The rest I haven't at this point had enough of a requirement for. I'll probably take the spiders, shove them in my depot, why not? There hasn't been enough of a demand for the rest of the stuff that you really need to put in the depot. I tend to go overboard and shove stuff in my depot when I don't need to. One of my many failings. Right, I will shut up now. As always, I hope you enjoyed or found it useful, informative, or covers a couple of questions or a couple of things you weren't aware of. And hopefully I'll see you down the track for more... Forgot the name of the game for a second then. Tiny Rails in the near future. Cheerio!